correct? You've got one more week and then that's it. It's gone. Baubles packed up. See you later. Parliament done 2020.
Yeah, this is it. This is the final week, and I'm speaking to you from Canberra. And politicians tend to be a bit like uni students. They leave everything to the last moment. So this is going to be one of those crazy packed weeks when people realise, hang on, Christmas is in 2 weeks' time. We've got to do all this stuff. So it's going to be a busy week, and then we're not back until February.
Again, look, to me, this seems like quite a reasonable thing at the end of whatever it is, the road that we're currently on. But it also could be a beachhead for something else. But again, I didn't hate the tone of what I heard. I didn't feel unrepresented by the tone of what I heard. What did you think of what you heard last night?
Paul, I'm with you on this. I didn't hate what happened, but the issue we're facing in Australia with our sporting codes is they're not focusing on the real issues like falling participation, about why kids aren't playing sport. You've got the sporting codes, especially Rugby Australia and Cricket Australia, who seem to be run by some sort of rainbow alliance of every PC group that's going around, and they make themselves feel good, and that's great for them. But what about getting kids to play sport? What about focusing on those issues? And that's not what we're seeing from our sporting codes. So I think I don't want to misquote Peter Dutton here, but I think the sporting codes need to get back to their knitting and get back to focusing on what they're here for, and that's to get people to play sport, not to make sure their corporate affairs and their government affairs departments feel good about themselves.
We, of course, have no idea because we are not part of the Labor Party, but we've been around plenty of times when it has either happened to our team, their team, or everyone else's team. So what's your sense about whether Albo makes it through this week to Merry Christmas and that's it, or they punt him? What do you think's going to happen?
Two things. I want Albo to stay as leader because he's useless and he flip-flops all around the place. So I will be becoming very religious and praying they don't get rid of him. But secondly, it won't happen this week. Labor are so brutal. What they'll do is they'll want to make sure that he is limp and lifeless, and that's going to take a few more months yet. So they'll want to really, really turn him into roadkill. So they're not going to change him until the new year. But Labor, I think, do need to change him because they're going to get smashed with him as leader.
You know, because you saw the legislation, there were some votes on it that sort of were starting to move through the Parliament. The Prime Minister has argued in favour of setting up this commissioner. That would be one of the permanent solutions that no doubt a Royal Commission would suggest. So we can leapfrog the process to get to the solution. But obviously there are a lot of people who strongly believe that they have to have that national airing and that day of reckoning for the bureaucracies that have been real troubles in the past. So while I support the Commissioner policy, it is always hard for me to come back from the Royal Commission position. But what do you think?
I listen to people like Phil Thompson when it comes to these issues. You know, Phil's a regular on your program. He's someone who's served overseas. He's someone who is so entrenched in the defence and veterans community, and Phil is backing the Veterans and Defence Commissioner. Now, the Commissioner is going to have this ongoing role. It's about finding solutions now. It's about finding answers now. It broadly has the same powers as a Royal Commission. The issue with the Royal Commission is it tends to look retrospectively, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as Liz says, we need solutions now. You know, a Royal Commission will sit. It will take a lot of evidence, and in 12 months' time and 18 months' time, it'll come up with a series of recommendations. And one of them probably could be, why don't we have a permanent, standard Veterans Commissioner, someone who's going to look into these particular issues. And so that's why I think, look, whatever, I'm with Liz, whatever works, let's just make it work. The government suggests and thinks that the Commissioner idea, this standing Commissioner, is the way to do it. Well, let's just pass it. What is disappointing, I don't really want to be political around this issue, but what is disappointing is how Labor have backflipped. You know, it's another backflip from Albanese here, and they're playing politics with this. This is an issue which should not be touched by party politics. It is too important, but Labor are playing party politics with this. I think there's going to be a no-deal Brexit, so watch what's going over in British politics at the moment. I don't think the European Union and Boris will get a deal, so there's going to be a no-deal Brexit.